Hello everybody, welcome to class 3 and 4. In play 1, this is the point, and I'm your instructor, Mark Battle. Well, today's all about environments, folks, and environment is everything when it comes to play. Environment is not just the materials and the things you put out and how you set up your room, but it's also about the message you are giving to people. That's big for me. What is the message of your room to children? Is your message of your room saying to kids, you are strong, you are capable, if given half a chance, you're going to do some fantastic things with it? And we also talk about how the environment is the third teacher. It's got your back. You should be able to, and think about this, you should be able to sit down, observe, watch what's going on around the room, because the room's got your back. You've got great materials out there. It's set up and it's organized in such a way that kids know what to do. And all you have to do is deal with the little dramas or add little bits and pieces. Then you got a good environment. If you don't have that happening, then all this stuff is going to be really tough to do. So if you are having troubles with your environment, it's not picking up the slack, then you have to focus on the environment and make changes. All right, and sometimes that begins with looking at the whole schedule. Sometimes that begins looking at the bits and pieces. And speaking of bits and pieces, there's a focus today on blocks. All right, there's a focus today on all the other curriculum areas. But there's a big focus today on the value and importance and necessity of loose parts. I do loose parts wherever I am. And loose parts are just open-ended materials, like logs, sticks, rope, tubes, cardboard boxes, fabric, boxes of tape, all that kinds of stuff. Because for me, that is the most important material for play because there isn't one way to use it. I could do a whole photo essay from infants to school-agers on how they all use a board. A wooden board. Every kid knows how to use a board, and they use it uniquely for their play. That's why loose parts are so valuable. Doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter how you think, doesn't matter how your body works or has troubles, doesn't matter. You bring whatever you got with a loose part, beautiful things are going to happen. It's like the old thing that old people say, right? I buy this expensive toy for this kid, and all he wants is the box. There's truth there. Think about the play materials that you played with when you were a child. Chances are, it was mostly loose parts. So when I go into a daycare center, I look at all the toys in the environment and I remove them. I remove the argument makers. I keep the good ones, the necessities, like the cars and the dolls and all that stuff, but I remove the argument makers and I replace them with loose parts. And then the kids rise to it because they know how to use a loose part. They know how to utilize that within their play. So if you invest some time in getting some loose parts, that is going to come back for you. You are going to have a most memorable day of kids constructing, creating, pretending, building. Everything you could imagine happens around loose parts. So it's a big focus of today. Yes, the interest areas are important. Yes, those materials are important. But the most important thing is how much loose parts do you have in your program. Alrighty. Also on class 4, we're going to be doing our practical meeting. So that's going to be kind of interesting too. Alright. So the big point for this class today is loose parts. And the value of loose parts and the value of having a rich, nurturing environment and what that leads to. Because my friends, that is the point.